So I wanted to start a segment of LoFi Torah that really outlined and went through every verse in the Torah and talked about its meaning and how it is applicable to our daily lives. So we're going to start this segment and go through the entire Torah, but we're going to start with Sefer Bereshit, Perek Aleph, Pasuk Aleph, which is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 1. And it reads in Hebrew, Bereshit bara Elokim et ha-shemayim ve'et ha'aretz. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And this is important because it teaches us that reality has meaning before it has form. You could say that the Torah is before the world. And this is a repeated teaching that we hear, that the Torah preceded the world. And this means that there has to be wisdom before action, meaning before action, wisdom before structure, purpose before structure. Because in life, people often act first and justify later. But Bereshit is teaching us the opposite. It's teaching us that before building a home, you have to know what kind of home you want to build. Before speaking, you have to know what truth you want to bring. And before creating society, for example, you have to define what values that society will hold. And you have to live intentionally. You have to ask why before how. And this alone transforms relationships, interpersonal, personal, work, even defines leaders of peoples and communities. In looking at bara, we learn that creation is not chaos, it is ordered differentiation. And the reason that is because bara is setting boundaries and giving form, separating light from darkness, the heavens and the earth, sacred from profane, the righteous from the unrighteous. In other words, without boundaries, nothing becomes whole. Because in everyday life, if you really look at it for what it is, we use boundaries consistently. When we say no, when we say yes. Because growth requires saying no. That's how you will achieve higher levels of Kedusha. Relationships also need limits, and communities need values that they will not compromise. Not everything should be blended, and some things must be distinguished. And this is very important. We live in a society that says things should be blended and cohesive, and people should have the same treatment, and all of these things. And part of those values are true, but we can't take away what distinguishes individuals and makes them beautifully different. Being different is good. It takes a cohesive body of different minds to build something incredible. We also learn that Elokim teaches us that values come before power. Creation begins not with generosity, but with justice, structure, and restraint. And this can be applied to government and people very easily. Freedom without law will collapse. Passion without discipline will destroy. And compassion without boundaries will fail. So, for the societal example, law and shared values must precede emotion and ideology. This is important. These are things that we're already learning from the first pasuk in the Torah. Looking even deeper, Bereshit itself is wisdom preceding action, because the sages teach us that Bereshit hints to the Torah as a medium of creation. So action from wisdom, not from impulse. We have to learn before deciding, reflect before responding, teach before demanding, and I go back and regress because this is a very important thing that people as a whole have to strive to do and to protect words and their meanings. So boundaries, the heavens and the earth, are holy. And the reason we know that because it says these are distinct realms. The verse is establishing separation immediately. Heaven is not the earth, and earth is not heaven. So growth will definitely require distinction. There's a difference between work and family. Both need to be grown separately. Sacred and casual. A person and everyone else. All of these things need to be grown in their separate pots, but the branches need to intertwine. Healthy societies will honor boundaries instead of erasing them. And this is something that must be remembered. Looking at everything, the entire Torah, in this part that we're reading, we already learned the concept of humility being built into creation, because this pasuk is very cryptic. You can't shallowly read it because not everything is immediately understood. And this is already teaching us, since this verse has so many hidden secrets, that depth requires patience and truth unfolds slowly. So a person has to lower themselves and know that any arrogance in pursuit of learning more will block wisdom. A humble people will be able to grow, but a people that is too certain of themselves won't be able to grow. And overall, we see that there is one vision, one purpose, and that there's a blueprint being established with this verse. And it's also teaching us that with that one vision, one purpose, that there is one God. That is producing a world of multiplicity. And that's beautiful. Because Bereshit, Perek Aleph, Pasuk Aleph, teaches us that a meaningful world is built intentionally, with wisdom and structure, boundaries and responsibility, and that any people who wishes to endure must hold true to these same values and live that same way. And this is the way that will build a foundation to making the world a better place. May everybody have a blessed day. And remember that Hashem is to be blessed by night, by morning, and by afternoon. And may He be blessed not with only our words, but with all of our actions. I love all of you. And take care.